Fire, wind, water, earth, fucking magnets. How do they work?
Heart?
I don't know. We're back
Go
today with
planet.
Green. Here today with Carmen.
That got me. I wasn't expecting that. All I did was count him in, and he hit me with that one. Really
Yeah.
good.
You know how they work?
Hell no, dude. That shit's magic. Ugh, wrong pipe.
Also joining us today are Ollie, frequent guest of the channel,
Hello.
and Tyler from Weiss Schwarz. Take a bow.
Yo,
The Weeb Shorts.
the Weiss Schwarz.
All right, your favorite profile.
Hop right
Andy.
into it with this brainstorm. Activates 1 time per turn when you use an act ability. Look at the top card of your deck, put it on the top or bottom of your deck, and then it's a brainstorm. And you salvage for each one you hit. I think. How does the timing of this activate? If you brainstorm with this, does it
No.
scry
You do it
before?
after the brainstorm.
You would have
After.
to scry after, but you would use an act before you brainstormed.
Okay.
So you,
Well,
so you can have like
regardless,
the UA from the TD, have this surveil, then brainstorm for your 5-card brainstorm. Or if you have 2 brainstorms, you brainstorm, they both trigger, you surveil twice, and then you brainstorm again.
Yeah, I like the scrying after. Actually, that is actually kind of cool because you brainstorm and then you inform your next play. Also, like if you have another brainstorm or if you want to like.
It also makes like
It's
your
one of the
Leaf
top checking
counter
effects.
a check too.
Yeah, so this Leafa counter and the Toph early play that we'll see later makes it to where one of the attacks that your opponent does at you, you get to dig 3 for a climax.
And then still eat
Yeah, and then still
And
eat
then
it.
still
Yeah.
eat it, yeah.
Yeah.
But in vacuously, like as a brainstorm, I think this is like a fucking
Yeah,
extremely
great.
good second effect on a
There's a
brainstorm.
bunch of act payoffs coming up, and then just like the synergy with the Toph encounters.
This
Because
is
like even if you just use
easy,
a regular, even if
Okay.
you just use a regular counter, you're still digging 2 for a climax.
I mean, that's just like a lot of value like throughout the game.
Yeah. All right. Next. Toph, the Blind Bandit. His ability activates up to 1 time per turn. When you use an act, this gets 1500 power until end of turn. So 45, when you use an act, go up to 6. Climax down 7k. Use a backup 6k before the backup applies. And then when this card attacks, you can ditch a card from your hand if you have 2 or more other World of Avatar characters. If you do, perform the following action twice. Mill 1, salvage an extra lower, exit the level of that card. So it's like cigarettes, but you do it 1 at a time. You really have to have really good zeros for a combo like this to be good. I have extensive experience playing this combo in Assault Lily. I don't think Avatar has the 0 lineup to actually flex this card well. So I actually like it a lot less, despite being a plussing combo that could filter your hand off a bar. I still don't like it that much. I don't think Avatar can actually take advantage of this combo.
Is the one in
in a
Assault
meaningful
Lily
way.
exactly the same?
Exactly the same, except it doesn't have the act text.
Oh,
The act text
I
gives it
thought
the
this was
plus.
a unique profile. Unfortunate.
The
I've
act,
never-
the act text gives it a plus for me because at least you could reasonably grab a Leafa counter and expect to not only maybe have this card live in a non-Alice meta, which hopefully this will like be played into when fall comes around, at least at some point in the fall, probably mid-season because that's how Bushiroad rules apparently. And actually have this maybe live in a 1k1 matchup, as well as, you know, dig 2 cards for a cancel, which is a pretty cool interaction. But I still think this, even more than cigarettes, I think when you're playing a cigarettes combo, you really live and die by the ability to flex your zeros, and that's why Slime's cigarettes combo is so good, because they have cards like the Trial Deck Rimuru, the Double Filter, level zeros that are just like always good to pick up, like a level 0 stock swap, stuff like that. I don't think Avatar has those cards, has very few of those cards. I think they do exist. There's probably enough to make this fine. Just take the raw plus and kind of run with it. And it does have at least a decent enough chance to at least add the 1/1 Leafa counter back, so it's like okay. But I'm pretty down on this combo in general, just because like I have a lot of experience with it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for the Toph deck because The top deck wants a very specific hand going into level 2, and this is not particularly good at sculpting that hand.
Nope. Not at all.
You kind of have to hope that you trigger bars. That way you can use the bar assist for your selectivity, and then this will just grab a random piece that you were missing.
Yeah.
I think it reads really strong to me. I'm looking at this and I'm seeing Reiner from Attack on Titan. but
It's
just
not
better.
Reiner.
It is not Reiner, no.
Yeah,
Seems
right.
better.
I've not.
No,
this
it's not.
So much
How's it
worse
not
than
better?
Reiner.
It's a lot worse.
Ow! It seems like less all in, like less swingy. Like you don't randomly just miss.
What?
What are you talking about? Miss.
Reiner's discard mill 2 and then salvage 2 cards of that level or lower, right?
Yeah.
You
so
can't
you have
whiff.
way more options.
You can't whiff with that combo, Andy, because you mill characters to do it.
I mean, you mill cards with this to do it, right?
Yes, but I'm saying this card.
And you do it twice.
This
so
no, I'm saying you can't whiff. I'm saying that whiffing with this is hitting 0, and your zeros in Avatar are bad, which is like overall, which is why I'm saying this combo is only as good as the zeros you can pick up to flex the next turn. What is the most generally good 0 you can pick up? Like even more so than cigarettes, because cigarettes is the same way. You live and die by how good at flexing your level 0s are in the next turn, which is why Slime is so good at it, because they have a card like TD Rimuru. If TD Rimuru didn't exist, the Shizukamon would be so much worse, because you don't have a general hit to pick up off the card when you don't have anything else you can grab. Like Avatar doesn't have good 0s to pick up a lot of the time. I think they're fine. Like, and the fact that this card could plus cross turn with the act is what makes it okay, because you can pick up a counter more often than not, at least on one of these.
You can pick up the Ember Island players to have a 2 soul beater.
You could. That is a thing you could do.
Yeah. I haven't played this profile, but I've played Rando, and like that shit never grabs you anything you want. You're always getting 0s with the combo.
That's just Rico. That's just one. Yeah.
It's also unfortunate that the top level 3, the changer into it is a 1/1 instead of a 2/1 like Kanata is in Hololive, which means your count for getting higher level cards is lower.
Yep. Or it's even harder to get your level 3s.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I'm sure it's like fine, because all the level 1 combos are just kind of fine.
I feel like you play it because it's a bar trigger,
Yeah.
and it's like not bad.
That's why I gave
It's
it the
not
plus.
great, but it's not bad.
Like I'd give Raw Yu, like, which was off of Pants, I believe, like a middle of the road C. Toph gets a plus for being like, it's probably a B- actually, because she also has the ability to possibly save herself.
I'd play because it's on a bar, and the bar.
You play because
filters
it's on a
come
bar
out.
and it's not a bad combo. Unlike this next card.
Oh, this card is really bad.
Yeah,
Tyler, it's
zero,
all
zero,
yours.
yeah, 002K, up to twice a turn. It gains 1,000 whenever you play another card. With the bar on reverse search. Who is this for?
Broken.
Insane. When you slam the climax, it's 5k.
It's a Shimakaze at level 0 for like, what reason?
Is this the most selective combo in Avatar?
I think so, yes.
It doesn't even give it to another character.
Yeah.
Damn, I was about to say level 0 combos really popping off in the past year.
Okay,
huh?
I'm thinking about it. I'm cooking. I'm cooking here.
Are you cooking? Are you cooking?
There's a lot of decent power pump in this set.
Uh-huh.
How much do you think it takes to get this card to be played over the top level 1?
It is selective, which is more than you can say about it.
It's selective. It goes into the 8-bar deck, which has other stuff that wants active abilities. The UA pumps 15, and then you've got the Shinobu that pumps 2k on attack. So you can probably get this to scale over level 1s.
But it's going to be tough to get double or triple of it, though.
Possibly.
Yeah, you can almost never.
It's like you have a lot of
multi-combo.
spot power. You have a lot of spot power pump, but not a lot of like global power pump.
I'll give it the D+
Oh, crap.
for Dank. Just
I
control
just deleted
Z.
my box. What do I
You
do?
can control Z and get it back. Yeah. Google Slides is really strong. It has the same collaboration shit as like docs and sheets.
Are you cooking? I see.
Somebody cook with this.
I
I'll
will
sleeve it.
cook. I will cook with this.
Let them cook.
All right,
I
next.
I don't think it's good. I think this is just like actively bad, but
That's
I will
probably
cook.
bad. That's a rare. More rare. So many more rares than yellow. There might be more rare green cards than there are yellow cards. Whose card is this? Ollie's.
Oh, it's
Ollie.
fine. Oh, we got the Suki Kyoshi Warrior. 1/0. When this is placed on stage of hand, you can discard a card. If you do, choose a world avatar character in your clock, add to your hand, put the top card of your deck in the clock, and it's a cost 0 clock bomb.
Also does that first effect on death.
Oh, it's dual timed.
Oh.
Okay. I was
Cool.
gonna say, why isn't this just Sakura? But being double timed is actually really good, considering it's a bomb. It's like 2 filters.
I mean, Sakura was Ditch Climax Salvage, which I think is probably better.
That is much better than this, but at least this filters twice. This is fine.
There's a meta where this is playable. This is not the meta.
No,
I don't know. There's a lot of slime running around right now.
How much slime was there actually at regionals? I know I was on it, but I don't think it was that popular. I think it was like it was probably like
It was fairly popular.
5%?
Like outside of like the big like 3 decks that were getting played, I'd say it was like up there as one of the more.
it was maybe like 5 to 10% of
common
the
other
field,
ones.
maybe.
The whole appeal of the Sakura and Fate was also that you could clock Encore it. This one is
Yeah.
just a vanilla bomb, effectively, with some extra text on it.
I don't know. I like the double filter. If it was only a single filter, I wouldn't give a crap about it. But
The double filter is nice, especially if you're playing a deck with Panzer bars.
Yeah, that's definitely the reason you play it. The double filter, the clock bombs like.
Try
That's
field
nice,
this.
I think.
That's 6 card. That's 6 cards filtered through the top of your deck. That's deck speed.
That is, and a lot of climaxes
It's
in your clock.
it's also 6 opportunities to put a climax into your clock.
What do you mean,
It
dude?
doesn't happen.
That's the 8-bar Fate Classic, man. Refresh 8, draw bar, trigger bar, blind stock bar, ditch bar, clock bar, and then you pass back to your opponent and you say out 8 after you pay 3 encore. The 8-bar Fate special. All right, next card. Back to Andy.
okay, this is an interesting one. 2,500 backup. When you use the backup, you can pay 1, discard a card, and sacrifice a character to send the top card of your opponent's clock to their waiting room and choose one of their characters with level higher than your opponent's level, put it into their clock. So it's like an anti-change counter with the good cost, like the Amelia counter from ReZero.
It sends to
I
clock.
like it.
This card's great.
Yeah, this is
It-
the
it's-
best
it's so
anti-change
efficient.
profile. The best anti-change profile in Weiss Schwarz. You do not get a better one than this one.
Amelia has to discard a character. This doesn't even have to discard a character.
Oh, this is even better.
The
It said the downside is that it sends to clock. So
yeah, the trade-off is that sometimes your opponent just doesn't have a clock.
I
And
think
how
that's
often
fine.
is that though?
The cost
Pretty
is
often.
the cost is the important part. Having an anti-change counter with this cost means your opponent is playing around it more often because they know that you
Notably
can
worse
resolve it
against
every turn.
Ainz.
Well, yeah.
Notably worse than most anti-change counters.
Well, anti-change counters don't work against Ainz unless the Ainz pilot has absolutely no idea what they're doing. Like it literally does nothing.
I guess that's fair.
If the Ainz player has a singular brain cell, they side attack.
That
I'll
is true.
take
but...
that challenge.
Yeah. How many beers does it take for the Ainz pilot to front?
What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
You don't have it front. They always have it. All right, next card. Toph, High Society, level 3 higher assist. When your character's trigger check reveals a climax, you can ditch one. If you do, reveal top card of your deck, choose a level X or lower character in your waiting room, return it to your hand. X is equal to the level of the revealed card, and then you can rest this to give a character 500 power. Rico on climax trigger is actually extremely powerful filtering. For 8-bar or pants bar. That's actually insane.
This is good.
It's actually
It's got the act support too.
Yes, it's a free act.
500
as
is
well.
not a big number, but you just care that it says act on it.
Mm-hmm. This is like 100% a card you play in that deck.
Again, it has a similar issue with the that the level 1 does, where it's fail cases grabbing zeros and your zeros aren't great.
Yeah, but like the difference here is like this is something you're getting for free that filters your hand.
Yeah,
aggressively.
The difference is you trigger a climax, you want that climax out of your hand. The climax is now out of your hand.
Yeah,
Your bars become shitty doors.
and give you top check knowledge for your next attack.
You can
Don't forget that
be creative too, actually, with choice trigger. You can add like a higher level card back to your hand, then discard it to like
You have to
playable.
Yeah, you could. You
yeah.
could play this with choice. It worked with any climax because you can ditch any card. Just like Spriggan. Alright, next.
Next is Toph Metal Bending. Climax combo. Whenever it attacks with Invention of Metal Bending, if you have another character, choose one of the following effects and perform it. You can either salvage one and stock one from waiting room, or you can pay 2 to burn 2. And then whenever it is frontal attacked, you can look at the top card of your deck and then keep it there or put it in the waiting room.
Check and wreck. Check and wreck.
Look, most of us are most of the people watching you are probably not old enough to remember that.
Yeah, they don't. How many check and wrecks have there been since then? Just Reagan? Reagan was
Probably
the last check and wreck?
probably like 3 or 4.
Doesn't this card early play somehow?
Yeah, it early
yes.
plays exactly like Kanata.
It is Kanata. It's a worse Kanata, but it has a finisher effect on it, which opens up your other climax slot for something else.
And it's
I
on
kind
a
of
bar.
really like that.
And like the check and wreck stacks, obviously, with all of your counter power and scrying and all that shit.
I agree with that. I think that's like an A+. If it's the
It's
same
random.
thing as
It's
Kanata.
randomly 10-5, 12-5 in front of the.
Well,
assist.
okay, okay. It's not Kanata. Like, let's not get too crazy. This is definitely not Kanata.
I
I am of the opinion that it is a
Top
side grade to
Kanata.
Kanata.
I don't think it's a
better than
side
Kanata.
grade. I think it's a downgrade.
I think it is just as good, just in a different facet.
It definitely does a different thing. Kanata's problem is that she can heal down, but like the way you had to play her meant that you couldn't have good refresh timing a lot of the time. This you can play a lot more freeform. You can get a good refresh timing because you don't have to like fuck up your other like combo slot to like that could mill or like do literally anything to set you up for this, to put you down, which you mentioned, which is reasonable. And it also helps you cancel once it's down, which is really nice. It has a really good support that we just saw that is really good. However, this card doesn't heal. Thankfully, there is an easily recurrable healer in a color that most sets will be splashing. So I think it is fine. But I think the fact that it's like always salvage one, always stock one, and it's not the choose to salvage or stock them, makes it a lot less modular, but you do get the burn effect on top. And you can do it at any time. If you're like playing a weird like climax lineup, you're not playing 8-bar and you need to like pay out stock, like that does give you like options as well. But like obviously you want to be grabbing counters to like dig for triggers to keep this around.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
like
it is
if
on
your-
attack choose. That is nice.
if your first 2 attacks trigger like bars, and then you filter those bars with the assist, and you just get the cards in your hand anyway, you can just burn with the last one because it's free.
Because it pays 2, you can also always pay out the card you triggered if it's a climax. Because you stock first. That's actually pretty nice. I'm definitely going to fuck with this card. I'm more on the Ollie side. I don't think it's like turbo cracked or anything, but like outside of the 8 pants deck and like
I think this is probably the best level 3.
this is like
Which is a little unfortunate, but
there was a couple decks I was bringing. There's like Pants Standby that like kind of plays into the Sokka glitch is what I'm gonna call it, which we'll talk about when we get to it.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like, it's a glitch.
I guess I should give it that caveat. This is the best level 3 with the asterisk that Sokka gets fixed.
Yeah, the Sokka is like a glitch. He's like a speed run strat. You Sokka clip into the next turn and attack.
Sokka skip.
Yeah, you like Sokka skip into the next turn.
Sokka does let you skip most of the game sometimes.
Yeah.
90% Sokka skip.
Yeah, 80% Sokka skip. But I'm 8 pants and like this like mid game decks like I'm totally gonna mess with because those decks are really fun to play. When things go right, so we have to find the right deck build to make sure things go right most of the time. But Toph saves a lot of space, which I like as well. So I'm definitely gonna mess with it.
Not gameplay related. The climax for this, the foil art of it, has the second shot from that scene. Because in the scene, she's hitting the top and sides to feel for where the earth is in the metal. And so this one, she's checking the top, and the foil, she's checking the sides. So it like mirrors the actual scene in the show, which I thought was pretty cool.
That is
The
pretty
brains art
cool.
for this looks fucking atrocious.
I like
what
her
looks
just
atrocious?
bursting out of the wall.
Yeah,
I
With
like
her
that.
derp-
Fuck up
with
there.
her
I like that.
derpy ass eyes.
Yeah.
Got that Nezuko phase.
yeah, that is not a great screenshot.
I like it. That makes it even funnier.
The
I'm
foil
playing with
looks
the base
pretty
rares.
good. Or was that
Foil
the
does
judge?
look good.
Was that the judge PR? I can't remember. That somebody posted.
No,
one.
the judge promo is the 3/2 Iroh and the 1/0 Toph.
Oh, it's the 1/0.
I believe this is an avatar rare.
As an avatar rare. Oh, okay, so it'll have just a green background then.
Or wasn't it? I think this was an SP, wasn't it? It was a
No,
top.
the avatar rares are just as rare as SPs. Actually, they're both
Oh.
3
Don't say
per
that yet.
case.
I thought they were
Yeah.
SR.
Don't say that yet.
What do you mean? Oh wait,
I need
sorry.
people to not know.
Sorry, wait. Well, this airs tomorrow. We can just no wait. I said recorded 6:15. Damn, I'm gonna get reported to Bushiroad by Global. Damn it.
6:15 a.m. That's when we recorded it. It's pretty early right now.
6:16.
Yeah.
12:01.
We
I can't believe you're drinking so early, Carmen.
Yeah,
we
well,
love Weiss so much. We film content.
I gotta.
50 hours in the morning.
You're out of control.
All right, next card. All right, whose card is this? We talked so long. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4,
think it's
5,
Ollie's.
6, 7, 8? Yeah, it's Ollie's.
Okay, got this Aang in green. What the fuck? If you have another World of Avatar
I don't know.
character,
Why are
this
you
gets
asking me,
free
brother?
Do you need a moment, Ollie? Do we need a
No,
couple for a second?
I'm good now. It's
Alright.
the weed, trust. So it's a 3500, and then on reverse, it like does the little clock pump thing where it pays out the top card of the clock and clock kicks. Did we ever decide on jargon for that effect?
Thank you for
No.
calling it a call punt. I feel validated.
Clock punt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pun was
that's
like
what it is, yeah.
the easiest thing.
Paddy,
I could think of.
Paddy Wagon and I were in a car, and we were just like, "What do we call this effect?" And then he came up with this.
Clock
And
punt.
I
like clock punt. I'm down.
Yeah, you're not kicking it. You're punching.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're punting.
like
it,
this
yeah.
is
It knocks
clock
the
bomb.
other one out.
Because
they-
it's
they
when
punt
this
it, they
gets a
don't kick it.
reverse. It's not a bomb.
Mizuki and Kaguya kicks, this punts.
Yeah, this is like okay. This is one of the only other oversized options in the set, and it's also one of the only good like random green fixes. With that in mind, I think it's like fine, but there are far better 35s that you could be playing. But
Slime?
in the right meta, when there's like God, like
Hololive.
everyone is playing. It's really funny against Hololive. It's really funny against anyone playing the memory decks that just came out. If you have people in your meta where like your meta is literally nothing but Grisaya and Saikano, you can play this and be an absolute terrorist to all of those people.
Oh, you know what? Actually, like straight up, like once a lot of the other decks get hit, Alice, Overlord, Alive, all that stuff, right? If Grisaya and Saikano start seeing more play, this could be pretty good there.
Yeah, if you're playing against stuff that like on reverse does things and you want to hate on that, this card becomes at a premium. And it's like a 35 like all the other oversizes.
I would
except the
rather
teeny one.
play the 4K, but this is green and the 4K is not.
Yeah, this
and
is
green
like one of the
green
only
is the color you
random
typically want to fix for.
green fixes. Yeah.
Why is he protecting Bosting Save? There's nothing to protect. There's no
Everything's
war.
fine
Yeah.
in Bossing Say.
Yeah, there's no
everything's
war there.
fine.
There's no war in Bossing Say.
There is no war in Bossing Say.
All right, next card. But yeah, this one's fine.
Alright, we've got Toph
and it-
Childhood. Is she kissing a badger?
That's a
I-
large badger.
They're smelling each other.
Oh, okay.
So
That might be
basically-
even weirder, to be honest.
That's cool. I love giant badgers. That's sweet.
Badger
Um,
mole.
When your character's trigger check reveals a gold bar climax, you may discard a card. If you do choose a card in your clock, add it to hand. The top card of your deck into your clock. And rest this to choose 2 characters, give them 500 power cross.
Ooh.
So you got some nice, a good act assist to trigger all your Toph's abilities. 500 cross is nice, helps your level 1 combo live. And it looks like this affects the first effect, the gold bar filter. That should stack with the 2-1, right?
Yeah, it does.
Didn't the
Yeah, it
2-1
does.
assist give you a filter as well?
Yep.
Yep. So you can ditch the bar to get something from clock, and then ditch
You can-
whatever
it-
you want.
If
to-
you have a free lane, you can also just freely promote this once the 2-1 is put down and get
Well, you
both
can-
effects on that turn, which is nice.
You can confirm what's in your clock if you want to. If you are okay with clocking it. You have this and the 2-1 out.
Yeah. I think
Double
it's
dipping
fine.
on that is
That's
double
a
dipping
cool
on that's pretty
interaction.
rad, but it maybe
It's
too.
Yeah,
a
I think
clock
you-
don't
filter
need that
and an
much.
act ability.
You'd only ever get to double dip on it on the turn that you promote this to play down the 2-1 effectively. But I think that's still fine. I think we've seen plenty of decks like kind of promote.
I don't think this will happen very often, but the power is cross turn, so you can counter over a lane with Toph with that extra power, and then promote this from that lane you open. And
Yeah,
that's when you play the 2-1.
yeah.
Tyler, you said there wasn't a clean cut, didn't you?
No, there's not a clean cut.
There's
Oh,
not.
this would be such a juicy target for that.
Yep. Because it's got its value really early. If you're playing 8 bars, I do like that. A whole new generation of Weiss players can feel the pain of playing 8-bar Fate and triggering
Yeah.
a bar. You too can experience the Fate special of triggering and clocking and blind stocking every bar in your deck in 1 second.
Except their deck will actually have early plays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Like a-
true.
it-
Your
it's
deck will
like a
actually be
magic
able to
trick.
play a thing. Here's my climaxes, now they're gone, right? That's the trick.
Yeah, they just disappear. Your compression just disappears.
They were in my deck and now they're in my grave. In my clock. That is how it be playing
You,
Fate.
you just sit there with all the gold bars in your hand, like Taylor Swift in that picture with all the trophies.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is. She's coming to Pittsburgh soon. I keep hearing about it on the news.
Are you a Swiftie?
No, I'm not a Swiftie, but I respect it though. She makes good music.
It's
All right.
listenable music.
Next card here. We got Suki coming to the rescue. That is how you say it, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Got it. When this big card becomes reversed in battle, reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is level 2 or higher, you may pop this card back to your hand. And then it ditch bonds to the level 1 Sokka combo. This is unironically one of the reasons why I think the Sokka combo is like the go-to combo in the set, because the filter in this set is so goddamn bad that the fact that you get to just slot this 2 in your deck, and it's green, a color that's pretty rare when you're trying to splash green for stuff like top stock swap, makes the Sokka like a much more attractive like go-to level 1 combo.
I just can't get over his face.
Yeah, that's a good
Oh yeah,
face.
his face is
It's
just like fucking stone faced. Yeah.
She's like, I'm here, and then he's just like, ugh.
No, just like on top of what you said, Carmen, just a ditch bond to your level 1 combo is also just
Yeah, it's
genuinely
just
pretty
good.
good.
And this card might plus. It's just a coin flip to plus. It's even better.
It's probably not coin flipping in the pants deck, which is really weird, but
It's a chance.
Sometimes
it's
it does
like
come back
it's
to
like
your hand.
It's like a
Okay.
33% chance.
which is flavor because Suki came back.
That's funny.
You know where I could see this being really good
Pants
actually.
bar.
Not Pants Bar, but I could see it being really good in Pants Choice, like with the Aang finisher.
I don't know about
But
that.
I'm trying to brew around that, and like the fact that this puts like a lot of green and a lot of blue in your deck, it like spreads your
Mm.
colors out really nicely.
That's rough, buddy.
I think that would maybe be my starting point for that from what I've seen so far.
I mean, the pants combo is totally fine, and it works with the 2-1. So You got some
And I like
two
your point you
feathers
made
there.
too. That the Suki is just randomly like a
It-
randomly a plus to
it's
hand. And it
randomly
also
a
just
plus.
bonds.
It bonds again. You're pro. Okay, I'll put it this way. When I say like filter, I'm like mostly talking about proactive filter. Filter you can trigger on your turn to fix your hand in the moment, but wait
Right.
before you make another play. Avatar is actually really hard up for that. So the fact that this is like an on-demand ditch bond, grab a playable card that doesn't even need a climax down to be at least a 6/5 on your turn is like actually incredibly relevant, and will push
Also
a
think of
lot of
this,
decks
too.
towards Sokka. Yeah.
Think of this too. If this like coin flips back to your hand, you can filter for like a second Sokka. You could get like 2 Sokkas off one card, maybe.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
Pretty rare, but like, I mean, maybe not that rare,
The
but
high roll is like pretty insane, actually.
I don't know. I think this profile is actually really, really good. It's like coin flip.
On
You don't want it to
possible
be
coin
big
flip.
anyway.
I,
And
I,
then,
I would
like,
rather have the
put on play
unfavored
effect.
coin flip on the card than the 500 extra power it would have if it was just the bond.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather it do literally anything in addition. And like you said, it's flavorful, which is always good for Suki's only card.
Mid flavor text though.
So she has the double filter.
Huh?
Yeah, she does. She's in
Oh,
her
it's-
geisha outfit there.
Just the
Yeah.
clock bomb. Yeah, it's in her warrior outfit.
Oh, was that Suki?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
Suki. Oh,
Carmen, you okay?
I'm sorry. Sorry. No, I'm not. I forgot. All right, next card.
Different faces, but same.
Whose card is this?
I think it's yours,
Tyler's, I
Carmen?
think.
Oh, is it?
Or is it mine?
Dai Li
Yeah, yeah.
Agents.
Wait,
Whose
I don't
card
know.
is it?
Go for it, Carmen.
Okay, Dai Li Agents. If your stock has 2 or less cards, this gets 1 level and 1,000 power. So it's a 2,500 level 1. And then on play or on sent to waiting room, surveil. So look at top, leave it there, put it in the waiting room.
No.
Yep. No.
Shame. I like the timing on the second effect, but 2,500 is just like
On play, on death, surveil, pretty good. But
There's nothing to this is an abusable card. There's nothing to abuse it.
yeah, that's true. This should have just been the Silica spawner from 10th anniversary. Or like anime 10th anniversary. I love that card. It's like not good in any of the decks currently, but like that card's sick. It's like double surveil on play, and it's like a power crept spawner. That should have been that card. All right, Tyler, go ahead.
I'm not even gonna try to pronounce the first guy's name. Master
Jin
Yu.
Fu and Master Yu.
Is it Jin?
I think it like makes the sh sound, but I could be wrong.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it's like
These
the
are
X
these,
is like
these
a
are two
zha.
characters that their name is like written but never said. So
Oh, okay.
anyway, whenever you play a climax, it gains 1,500, and then you can put it into the waiting room. If you have the 1/1 counter on field, grab the 3/2 from your waiting room and return it to your hand.
It's the worst replacement for helmet I've ever
This is not
read.
helmet. This is not helmet.
Okay, it goes in the same slot that helmet would go in.
Like
It is your helmet equivalent.
Helmet Kaneda, or the backup, right?
No, not the helmet is the
Or
double
no,
filter.
the brainstorm, right?
No, the helmet is the filter, Andy. The helmet
bond- the
ditch
bond
bonds the
also-
Kaneda and then sack ditches and bonds grabs anything.
Okay, yeah, I know the card you're talking about.
Yeah, like this
Or the
card.
stupid
Oh,
yellow
like-
helmet.
I think this is so bad that you don't play it, which is what Tyler was probably gonna say.
yeah, like the first effect and the pseudo bond don't pair well together because this wants to be a back row card. It's a level 1, which means it's significantly harder to grab off of the top combo. And then it wants the 1/1 to already be on field in order to even use the effect to grab the 3. Why? Why am I jumping through all of those hoops?
Yeah, I don't think it's very good.
It wants to be helmet without being helmet, and it just fails miserably.
I'd rather just play the red Aang. That's just the sack salvage than play.
I
this.
cannot wait to just ditch my entire hand to that card just for the memes.
I mean, I guess like it is like a back row card, but I guess you could use it with the JC, to, like pop it back to your hand at least.
I
But
guess. I feel like that's being
it just
hopeful,
kinda
but
feels
you're
bad.
right.
Yeah, that's just not good. Next, Ollie.
Toph 1-0. When you use an act, this up to once per turn, this gets 500 times the number of characters, so it gets 2,500. And then when it attacks a level 2, it gets another 6k.
They don't
So
ban Alice, I think,
12-5.
we play this.
Yeah, because it can win on offense and defense then.
Well, it's not winning on defense because they just get the Alice's back.
Don't slot
do-
level 2 killers to deal with Alice. Just put your head down and play the cleanest game possible. It's easier for them to replay the Alices than for you to try to kill them. Unless you
Yeah, but
play
here's-
something like Kaguya that can play fucking like 3.
No, but that's the thing.
the front row.
Against not Alice decks, this is still big on defense.
It is. It's still fine, but I don't. My general thing is that I don't think it's worth it to dedicate tech slots to Alice because it's easier for them to replay Alice than it is for you to kill them, unless that card is super functional in other matchups. I think this is barely functional in other matchups, and then
Like Chainsaw Man.
like what is it? Fucking what was I saying? No, or you're playing like a level 0 combo where you can actually field 3 of them. If you can kill every Alice, by all means, play the level 2 killers.
What do you mean? We are playing a level 0 combo.
No, yeah.
The
Oh my-
saving the lock raise off.
No, we're not. We're not.
You're giving me ideas, Carmen. Why are you doing this?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't. It's a fine card, but I don't know. We did a whole video on answering Alice. You can go watch that video.
That's true.
Hopefully, she'll be banned soon.
Link will be in the description.
No, we'll just link to Tyler's channel in the description. What are you talking about? I have to get more people to watch the stock swap video so that people stop Randy stock swapping me
People
in
will
the
never
middle of my
stop
deck.
stock
So
swapping.
that people stop
Dude,
Randy stock swapping me in the middle of my deck and at regionals, and then they randomly hit 6, and I'll be like, "Well, guess I died."
I don't know, Carmen. Sounds like it works.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. All these people hitting me with "but it worked." I hate "but it worked." It's my 3 least favorite words. It's my least favorite
Why?
phrase.
I thought it was it has
Why?
potential.
Yeah.
No, I'd rather
No, I'm
have
gonna watch the Jeopardy
potential.
video instead.
I'd rather have potential arguments with Andy every day for the rest of my life than hear somebody say "but it worked."
But it
But it worked.
Carmen, it worked.
But it worked is my least favorite Weiss Schwarz phrase.
Dude, I can't remember what regional I was at, but it was a regional a year or 2 ago. But and somebody random stock swapped me, and I was like, we were chilling, being fine through the game, and I was like, "Do you want some advice?" At the end of the game, I was like, "Yeah, don't stock swap me like that." And then I was like, "This and this is why," and he's like, "But you died," and I was just having a bad day, and I was just like putting on like the face of the friendly person,
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
whenever he said that, I almost flipped the freaking table.
This is
Yeah,
before or
yeah,
after
yeah,
you
it's-
saw the video.
What is it? What
This
what
is
is
after
the-
the video.
What does Dan say? Results oriented thinking is right when I win.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
This that.
He had the flow.
Yeah, he was feeling the flow.
You do have to feel the flow.
Yeah, I make sure to sand the slides of my sleeves so that they're really sharp, so my opponent cuts themselves on my deck, so I can call them out for marking. That is also in the Feeling the Flow article, by the way.
That article is great.
Yeah.
You should link that article.
Yeah,
too.
I'll link that article
link
in the
will be in the
description.
description.
Feeling the Flow. People probably don't know about that article. I remember
That article's a bit dated though.
I like copy pasted that to a note because I was afraid it was gonna get lost because the Pojo forums might just like randomly disappear one day. I like pinned it in the one like local server we have or somewhere. I wanted to get a playmat with that on it. I wanted to get a playmat with the Dr. Sacklord article just written on it, like a screenshot of the page and like that article just on a playmat, like with all the ads and everything. Just like slam it onto a playmat. That'd be great. All right, go back to cards.
Oh yeah, we're doing a set review.
Yeah,
I forgot.
we are doing a set review. Whatever. That's exactly the kind of content people come to our channel for. So there you go. That was your one. Whose card is this?
Here we go. This is mine,
Andy.
and here's
Okay.
a card with potential. Koff Prankster. I love the art on this one.
Yeah, the art's great.
When Invention of Metal Bending is put in your climax zone, if you're level 2 or higher, you can sack this, put the top in from your hand to where this was, and it's a 2,500 backup. So this is how you early play the Metal Bending Toph. And it fills a similar role that the Kaneda combo does in Hololive, because it's a backup and you can salvage it with Toph's combo to then protect the Toph. Pretty good.
Or if you don't need to protect the top and your opponent does something like a dodge hit or something, you can use this to replay the top the next turn. Yeah, it's Kanata. It's pretty good. Kanata summon is like totally fine. It is the same hand economy as like hand to stock. It's 2 cards for 1. But then the top gives you your hand back. And also refunds the stock that you played this down with.
Okay, next card, Carmen.
Alright. Long Fang, Grand Secretariat. This card gets 2,000 power for each marker underneath this card. When this card is played from the stage to your hand, choose up to 3 Judy. Welcome to Bossing Say in your waiting room. Put them face down underneath this card as markers. You get 3, he's an 11k. He's a 2/2. This card sucks.
This card goes into the army deck that has no payoff whatsoever.
A decent amount of compression.
It does an impression of an early play for a deck that doesn't have any cards.
Oh my god, it's like Rem from ReZero, but you don't have to wait 3 turns.
Is it?
I wish there was a way to give this other markers.
I wish that this army deck did literally anything other than exactly this only.
I mean, in a set, you've got to have some bad cards that are just there for flavor, and I feel like the Judies are that.
Yeah, I mean, at least it's only 2 cards.
Yeah.
It could have been worse. All right, next. Tyler.
Boomy, an old friend. It's a clock bomb, and then whenever it gets reversed, you remove something from your opponent's clock, and they clock themselves.
Well,
Cosmo's gotten pretty old.
yeah,
I
I
it's
mean,
Snipe Cosmo, isn't it?
Snipe Cosmo is a completely worthless line of text. You can write that on my gravestone.
If you
I
want a
kind of like it. You
500
get a
power
chance to
bomb, it
randomly
exists.
fuck your opponent.
Oh my god,
Random
every
fuck
single
Please
time.
don't. Please don't start.
Andy, how many times? I'm going to
This is
go
why
back.
Japan played it.
This is on the top 10
Allegedly.
Andy moments. Par's top 10 Andy moments.
The only time when that card text would ever be actively relevant is if there are multiple different experience decks rolling around.
Or you only play against Love Live Sunshine and only Love Live Sunshine.
Sometimes you only play against Love Live Sunshine.
Wow, I don't want to live in that
I think
world.
the only reason you'd actually play the card is for like the clock bomb. If you want to clock bomb at level 0.
If you want a 500 power clock bomb, yes, go ahead and put this in. I don't think there's a reason to put that in your deck right now, but the snipe text is just worthless. It does nothing.
Yeah, it's completely worthless line of flavor text.
Except when it works.
It exists on the card to bring it down to 500.
Do not. You said the words. I literally just said. You said when it worked. You said, but it worked.
Sometimes it just works.
Oh my god.
Oh
So
god.
much. All right.
I'm only half kidding.
Next. I know you are. Whose card is this? Ollie? Go ahead.
Yeah, it's always.
Oh, hey, it's Toph, played by a man. If this card's in the center stage, this will be regarded as Toph. All your other Ember Island players, casting horrors, and Ember Island players Scar on the wrong side get 1,000 power, and then it's pay to rest search.
Not a good part of this package.
Is this the worst one out of the package?
I think that Katara might be the worst one. I think that Katara does literally nothing, if I remember correctly. But this is pretty bad.
You can at least search anything. It's not just the
Yeah, you know.
performers, but it's not really good still.
My name's Tough because it sounds like tough. It doesn't sound like tough at all. Unless you say tough really weird. Ollie, rate the card. Wake up.
No,
Sorry.
it's enough.
I wish the flavor text was how they think Toph sees. That's really good. If you know, you know.
Wasn't the whole joke in like the show where Toph is like in the audience and like everyone else's jaw's on the floor and she's like, "Oh wow, this actor like really captures like my spirit." Because she
Yeah.
like can't like see.
Yeah, Toph loves him.
All right, your card, Andy.
We got Judy. Love Judy. You can put any number of Judys in your deck. When you pay one, when you play it, you can search another Judy. Play it to your field. Like the character in the show, fucking hate this card.
This card has 3 different arts.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, because there's multiple different
trust
GDs.
me, I know. Do you know how much of a pain in the ass it is to deal with these cards when I'm pulling sets for Encore decks and Weiss Fight and God knows what else? Like, it's actually a total pain in the ass. I hate it.
Yeah, you don't want to get DQ'd from like top 8 because like you put the wrong Judy on your fucking block letter sheet.
Yeah. Ugh.
Imagine being the judge to have to like sort out that deck and go through it.
Mm-hmm. Well, it is Weiss Schwarz. I'm sure the Judy deck will top eventually.
That's something else new players don't know about is block letters and playing Contai.
Oh God! Like the old write-in sheets, you had to write your things
That was
in
the
block letters. I remember I bought a Yukina SP before the thing started, and I wanted to play it, so I had to like rewrite out my whole sheet twice.
I remember making Jason write out AOT move gear.
Oh, because you
3
played 4
times.
different move gears.
Yeah.
I play all Annie's.
Watching Drew throw his Contai deck against the wall was the greatest thing to come out.
Oh
of it.
yeah, that's a legendary.
Yeah, right.
Our local Drew took his Contai deck after the tournament because he like bricked all day. He like threw it against the wall. Our other local Paul picked up the deck off the floor, like sat down, played it, had no idea what he was doing, and like just like ran train, like for like 4 straight games in a row with the deck, and then he handed it back to Drew and said, "I don't know, man, deck runs."
Deck's running.
All right, next card.
You, Carmen.
Yep, and building a zoo. This ability activates the 1-time per turn. Use an act. This card is 1500 power. And the following ability: when this card attacks, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's level 1 or higher, put it into your stock. You get Mel stock. Mel stock effect when you act. It's pretty good. Provided you are playing a deck with the act support, you definitely play this card as an auxiliary level 1 if you can find the slots to do it.
I think this is what you play alongside the level 1 and the 8-bar deck. I just really
Probably.
like that. I just really like that effect. Unfortunately, it's not exactly Itsuki from Quince, where it gets a little bit extra power. But the stock charge effect, it's just there's you either don't care or it's upside. So
It's also usable defensively. The card does get the power.
yeah.
So it's the exact same line as your Toph combo. So. All right, next. Silent.
Jet manipulated. Players cannot play backups during its battle. On play, gain 1,000 per character.
Wow.
Yeah,
Eh.
meh.
It only makes me sad because I was expecting Jet to get some kind of a Levi squad combo.
Oh, that would have been cool.
It can kill Alice. That's
It
all I got
can
for this
kill
card.
Alice.
At
You know
level
what else
2.
can kill Alice? A lot of early plays.
Wow.
That's arguable.
Yeah, arguably. Depends if they shelled out the God knows how much money for the Agile. Next.
Except Katara's hexproof. Got him.
Got
Oh,
that. 3/2 Toph, Melon Lord. When this card is placed on stage of hand, you can pay cost, which is pay 1. If you do, it's a stock swap. Pay 1 stock swap, and then on direct you can stock a character from waiting room,
that's a pretty good stock swap.
like a free stock swap.
Yeah. And
I mean, you have to
and
direct, which you won't always have.
you won't always have a direct, but in the case that you do, it does let you like flex a stock.
Actually, you know what? I'm pretty sure you usually have a direct with this because
Yeah,
This-
you're playing act shit.
this goes into like the Toph deck and whatnot, and with all that other green
Well,
stuff.
it
that wants
goes
to go on
it
board.
goes in every deck. It's just
It does
one
go in
of,
every deck.
yeah.
That's fair.
But Like,
it does
yeah,
synergize
you're right. You're
nicely
right.
with the level 3 tough.
I do think it will like randomly let you like flex stock, especially with the mid game decks where like you might win a lane.
Stock swaps are great. Just use them right.
That video will be linked in the description of every
God.
single one.
I never use them right. That's why I only give it a C+.
Eventually, it's funny. It's funny because I've yelled at my locals so many times about using stock swap ROM that now they do it to me on purpose to try to randomly sack me to piss me off.
You played yourself, man.
I know. Well, like it's funny because in tournament I've literally watched them use it correctly. They only do it to me at locals, to me specifically, to piss me off, to try to sack me. It's really funny. Shout
I
out to
also
San
fall
Antonio.
victim to the bad stock swap that randomly kills me a lot at locals.
Everyone does. All right, next card, last card.
Yep, this is me. I'm glad they put the gaslighting card into the set. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
You know, I'm pretty sure that's where the term actually comes from. Is like using like flickering lights, to, like unnerve like someone and manipulate them, and that's what happens in this scene. That's where he's like taking the candle and like spinning it around the room. I think.
Yeah.
But really good card here. 2 or less green characters, you can't play it. And it is a 2/4 counter. You can choose a climax in your hand, discard it, and then bounce one of your opponent's characters. I guess it has to be green characters. That's a little bit annoying, but I mean, I guess if you're playing like the 8-bar deck, most of your stuff's green, and you probably have a lot of bars in your hand. So
I think 4 cost and ditching a climax is way too heavy of a cost.
I think it's heavier than like it should be, maybe, but at the same time, like the deck can probably do it.
Like, yes, you're bouncing the character, not just saying it can't deal damage or rest it, but effectively there's no difference there.
yeah.
Well, you
It's
can
like
you can use it if you only have one lane. Like they can't just like side you out and then swing in the last lane.
it is weird that like, what is it? Gate Scroll is infinitely more playable than Scarred, despite
Yeah.
being
I
so
don't
much
think
worse.
it is. Gate Scroll's full field condition.
No,
That's
no,
the thing
no.
I like
I'm
about
saying,
this, it's not full
I'm
field.
saying this is so much more expensive that I think Gate Scroll is more playable than this card.
What the fuck
I
is
think
Gate
full
Scroll
field
again?
condition makes Gate
Gate
Scroll
Scroll
almost
is
unplayable.
3/3 full field.
Oh, is that the Goblin Slayer counter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a
Full
card.
field is like the Achilles heel on all these weird ass like tap counters, bounce counters.
It
they always
is,
bring.
but at what cost, Andy? I think
Event
4
counters
ditch.
are also not axe for whatever that's worth.
I think 4 ditch 2, one of which has to be a specific card, is pretty bad.
But, like in 8-bar, you can probably shrug it off.
You could, but it's still 4. It's 4.
It is expensive.
If you
it's
triple
more
if you
expensive than
triple
it should
top,
be.
it
I
pays
think-
for
Okay,
it.
I
okay,
think
well,
that-
okay.
yeah.
Hear me out, Andy.
This seems like it should be a 2/3.
Hear me
honestly.
out, Andy. I would rather play double anti-change counter and get my anti-damage out of 2
Yeah.
than play this card. Does that make sense?
So just like do it earlier.
Yeah, like I would rather get my lane of anti-damage
The trade-off there is
earlier
that you
with a
should
better
have,
card.
dude.
But they can play around that by swinging with their early play first, for example. Like,
You still fog the damage.
yeah, well, I mean, they could side with it.
They could, but that I don't know. I think if you're playing 8-bar, the only top end bar that you can play is Toph. So you're playing Kanata. I don't know. I'm with Tyler. I don't think it's very good. I think it's just way too
It's just so
expensive.
expensive. Like
Way
it's
too
it's
expensive.
don't get me wrong.
If
it's
it was a
anti-damage.
2/3, would you like it?
If it was a 2/3 and I think it was 3 or less or 4 or less green characters, I think even 4 or less green characters and you didn't have
Okay,
to ditch
okay.
a CX.
I think 4 or less green characters would be that would. I guess you could do an 8-bar, but like imagine the same card, but it's a 2/3. All the text is the same. It's a 2/3 though.
Ditch a climax is still too much. Ditch a climax additional is still too much.
2/3's pushing it. I would think about it.
2/3
at
2/3 does
2/4,
make
I'm
it
probably-
considerable.
At 2/4, I'm probably only putting it in if I'm like desperate to find something that works.
Okay, I mean, I think those are respectable answers. Like I think like if you're just busting it up because of the one extra stock, I think that's like just deal with it and pay the one extra stock. But it is like a little bit narrow, I guess. Like probably only
Yeah,
works in
the
eight
counter
card.
argument is like Ollie said, just the TOF is giving you the stock. So
Yeah.
That's a good
eh,
point too.
an 8-bar climaxes are going to be in your hand.
I
Alright.
would consider this as like a 1 or 2 of maybe. Do the deicide strat.
Oh, like you're just gonna. Oh wait,
Like,
you don't have a
You
cherry to
just have
grab
it to
it,
threaten your opponent.
or no? You just keep it in your deck to make your opponent play around it
Yeah.
when they
Yeah.
don't see it shuffle back.
Best counter is the one you don't have to play. That kind of thing.
True.
It's true. It's
It
that's
is
Here's the
true.
real
It
strat.
is true.
Here's the real
True.
strat. You just play it as a one of, right? If it hits your graveyard and they see it, they'll play around
That's
it
literally
forever.
what we just said.
If you
Yeah.
if it's a one of and it's in your hand, they'll run into it every time.
Andy did
I've
the
al-
thing again.
I've
Sick.
almost lost to I've almost lost with 7 Deadly Sins playing around a memory kit counter that my opponent never ran in his deck.
Incredible.
Insane. All right. Well, that's it for green. We will see you on red, a much spicier color, and not because it's red, not because red is spicy. It's like a bad joke. Just a normal. It's a normal thing.
Joe Dan.
It's just got some stuff in it. You know, whatever. I just whatever.